Hello and welcome. So just a short video, this one. I've been having a think overnight about this amp being really bright, and we've obviously removed the bright cap, but was thinking about how to make this amp less bright, get rid of some of the top off it, because you've like got the treble down to nearly zero. And these, we've got one here and one here. These are, as I said in the video, they go over the attenuator resistors to pass the highs over, because these are such a high value, 470k. But I'm wondering if we really need those. Whilst I'm no expert amp builder, I have built one or two amps using 470k resistors, attenuators and things, and I've not ever put these over. In fact, I've used 1 meg sometimes when I've been messing about with really high gain things, experimenting. So I'm going to snip that off. The customer said that the amp was really bright, and the beauty is I'm going to leave this one and I'm just going to snip this one off. Now if we look on the schematic here, you can see that we're going into the high and we're going in to here into the grid. We're coming out the grid into the plate, decoupled, so we just get the AC, and that's then coming up here to this point on the jack socket, going along here, and comes down here. That 470 there and that 470k and 470 pico is this one here that you can just see on the camera. Let's just push it in a bit more there. So I'm going to snip him off, because if it doesn't work out or the customer doesn't like it, it's easy enough to put back on, because it's just, you've just got to wrap a new one around there. We're going to plug it in and give it a go with that missing and see what it's like. I've got the 100 picofarad on there because I didn't show the last bits that I did. I've got the 100 picofarad on there. And I read one of Gooden's comments today. I've not replied yet. He spotted a splash of solder down there. That was mine, and yes, you can see it has been removed. I wouldn't leave that in. I'm not that much of a plank, but he keeps me on my toes. So we've got that in there as well, and we're going to test that as well. I didn't add that on, and then I sat and thought about it, and I thought, you know, I really should put that on. It is on the schematic as well. Well, it's on this schematic. It's not on some of the Marshall schematics, which are 2204s. In fact, there's another schematic here. This is from 76. This one, and it's not on there on the first stage. Not on there, but it is on. But it is on this one. You can see it there, 100 picofarad there, from plate to cathode on the first stage. V1A, that's on. And I've run this amp now. I've used it for teaching while I've been doing some lessons, and I had it running for a couple of hours straight last night, and I just wanted to just look back in it and just check everything, and make sure there's no problems, and there doesn't appear to be. So let's get this plugged in, and we'll leave it at the case, and we'll just drop it on the Marshall 4x12, and we'll give it a blast. Right, now I've got a couple of knobs off it at the moment, because those knobs have gone a bit corroded, and they wouldn't tighten up, and you could see they were split in, and the plastic's just done on them. So I'm going to find a couple of knobs, but I've took those off for the time being. So let's just try it now. So let's go into the high socket here. Now I've got, last time we used this, we'd got nearly all the treble off. See now, all the brightness has gone, and remember, I've got no presence in there, and I've got no I don't have any I don't have any treble in either, so no presence and no treble. So can we still get the amp bright? Well, let's go up to halfway on the treble. Yes, we can. Where's the bass? Full bass. Not nowhere near as bright now. But the treble's working properly now, because when you take the treble out, it's you know, it's got that dull muddiness that it should have. Let's go up full. Plenty of treble there. Now this guitar I've got is a toppy guitar. So this mod may depend on what guitars you're using, and obviously and how bright a sound you like. So let's wang the presence up full, and that's the treble up full. So that's really bright still. So there is plenty of scope in there. Seems a bit daft to have to turn all the treble out and the amp's still as bright as anything. That's kind of defeating the object of the treble and the presence control. Now let's see what the overdrive's like. So we'll go full overdrive on there. And I had a guitar pick somewhere. And there it is. Excuse this chair creaking. It's one of the students' chairs, and there's some big masters sit on this chair. Ooh, man, this amp is loud. Now the other thing as well, now we've got that picofarad, 100 picofarad on there. This pot's working fantastic now, and we are, and that's why. Do you know? I thought that was the amp. It's the dog growling. The neighbours just walked by the window, and he had a bit of a growl. I thought, I hope the amp's gone funny. My ears are damaged with years of playing in bands, and I can hear things, but I don't always know where they're coming from. The direction, I mean. He's behind me, his shaft, known as Henchman Dregs on the videos. And he's not as whiffy now as he was, as I said in the previous video. He'd been to the groomers, and he did smell very very perfumey. So yeah, still. So as soon as you wind up the, that's full treble. Let's put half the treble in. Wow, that's the presence is oscillating a bit there. So oh yeah, there's plenty of brightness there. It doesn't like full presence. And we've took that cap off at that. Oh, this guitar. It keeps going out of tune. Never used to. That's really bright now. We can turn the presence down to find out Yes, well, right, I'm turning the presence down, and of course I'm turning it up. So just a whisker of presence on there. And that sounds fabulous. It was a really bright amp, always picks out the legato. I'm not much of a legato player though. I tend to pick every note I play. And so on and so on. It's very rusty, but whoops. And now it is, you know, once the treble's sort of gone below 3, let's try a bit more presence in there. Yeah, that way. No, yeah. Need to have a look at that, don't I? Sounds mint. That sounds really good. So I think we'll leave that off, see how the customer gets on with it. And you know, if you like using a lot of bright guitars, your pickups are really bright, then snipping that off's a great idea, and in some ways as good as snipping off the bright cap, because of course once the amp's cranked, the bypass cap is the treble cap on the volume control is, well, that's bypassed anyway. So the bright cap I'm talking about. So you know, snipping off, we snip the bright cap off the volume, but the bright cap's bypassed. Once the amp gets above a certain volume, above halfway on that part, it doesn't work anyway. But that to me now works like just like a normal amp should, but it's still very bright. So we're in the low input now. Let's give that a try. Well, that's not short of any top, is it? We're full up on the full up on the preamp. That sounds gorgeous. And let's just drop all the presence out. It's not made much difference. Let's take this down. That sounds gorgeous. plenty of top there. I've got all the treble out now. I don't think we'll need that capacitor across there. Right, I've just changed the preamp tube in the first and second stage, V1A and V1B. Obviously they're in the same tube. I've just changed that and problem solved. So yes, that's all it was. Right, got some knobs here, and you can see these I put on the on that WEM Dominator 50 I restored. They've got nice brass inserts in, and they're quite weighty. They're really nice knobs. So we're going to pop. I've already got one. I'm not on properly, but just slotted it on there. So so I've just been reading up about this presence, and that's how they work, of course, on the Marshalls. And I'd just forgotten that, you know, I never really bother with the presence controls a deal, but that's how they work on the Marshalls, on many of them. So the frequency gets higher as you turn them down. As I've checked, it is all wired up correctly. It's not wired up back to front or anything. So it's just me being a plank again. So yeah, so they look a little bit out of place, but they'll do the customer until he gets, you know, some new knobs for it. They'll certainly, and if he's not that bothered, he'll probably just leave them on. To be honest, if I'd got a full set of them, I think I prefer those, just better quality knobs, and these are tired, 50 odd years old. The plastic's beginning to decay, and that one doesn't look very great either on the preamp there, but yeah. In fact, I think that one's a different knob to these, so it looks like it's already had some. So yeah, so that's got all the controls on there. So that's just a bit of a short video really. We've replaced the knobs, changed the preamp tube, stopped that squealing on the presence. We've cut that cap off, most importantly, that 470 picofarad across, and I'll just check on the schematic again. That's across R3, so C4 is that? C4 we've cut out there. So if you want to experiment with your Marshalls, if you think they're really bright and you've cut the bright cap out and it's still bright, then cut off C4. You can see it on this video. And yeah, we've got that 100 picofarad cap on the first stage between plate and cathode, and that has made this amp superb. So we're all done, and it's ready to go home finally. So that'll do it for this one, just a short video really. So thanks for watching, you all take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.